Hello everyone and welcome to the Moaning Show episode 30. I am HCD Rules 0001 and I understand last week that my episode may have caused a bit of distress among family and friends, and I posted up a apology video afterwards, the day afterwards in fact, to readdress the balance. However, it's back to normal this week with proper moaning, and in this edition I would like to talk to you about money. Money is the bane of modern society. It's all over the news each and every week because of one simple fact: there's less and less of it each and every day. Countries owe billions and trillions of pounds to each other, and money is the root of most problems in this world. There's not a heck of a lot of problems that can't really be solved with money because of the fact that money makes things go. It makes people act a certain way. For instance, if I had more money, I wouldn't be using a PlayStation 3 to record this. I would be using a proper video camera with proper camera options. I'm very limited of what I can actually do with this specific PS3, but I'll show you some of the options I can do now. For instance, I'm now talking to you with a red sort of section over the video. Now blue, you can see what I'm trying to get at here. If I had a proper video camera, I could do all sorts of different things. For instance, a sort of video that looked like this used to scare me in my younger age. What I'm trying to get at basically is, if money were no issue, if there was no such thing as money, I wouldn't be showing you what limitations I have on this particular recording medium. And now back to normal. If money were no subject, then a lot of people in this world would be a lot happier, and I make no bones about it, I would be a heck of a lot happier if money didn't exist. Money is, quite frankly, the worst thing to ever be created by man. You always see these adverts on the television, and quite frankly, very recently, you see these adverts for, adopt a leopard for £2 a month or whatever, or please give whatever you can for the African famine appeal, or the Mozambique famine appeal, or something like that. And you see these people that are barely alive, it's mostly bone, it's skin, and they're on their last legs, and it says, if you give just £2 a month to this charity, we will save these people. Now, I don't mean to offend anyone when I actually say this, but there is a way to help them dance site quicker and a dance site easier as well. You get something called a gun, you load it with bullets, and you go, because they would have a much better life dead than they would in this world. And it's all down to money. Their governments, charities like Comic Relief, Sport Relief, were all created 20 plus years ago. Okay, Sport Relief isn't as old as Comic Relief, but it is the same charity. These charities created X years ago. They've given millions, closer to probably billions of pounds in charity money, and for the majority of countries the money reaches the prospective people. But these governments somehow get hold of this money, they block all attempts to help these waifs and things like that, and you're thinking, this world for them they don't have money. And if it wasn't for money, we wouldn't have a social divide in not only this country but the world. The majority of people out there, you know, we wouldn't have to work for one thing. I mean, if all of a sudden you got given, say, £2 million, would you go to work? I certainly wouldn't. You know, and that's no bad thing for working people. The reason we have to go to work is we have to pay the bills. We have to buy food. We have to buy clothing. We have to pay for the things that we want in life. If money didn't exist, if there was some sort of, say, credit system or some sort of system where money didn't exist, you wouldn't do these things. I wouldn't be speaking to you in all those weird video modes. I would be speaking to you via a video camera. Hell, I could even do a live moaning show and get people's, you know, thoughts from all over the place. But that just isn't on. We have to deal with what we've got, what money we've got, and, you know, from a personal standpoint, that is practically nothing. But we have to deal with what we have because of the way the world is. And the way the world is because of fucking money. Money is a pain in the arse. It's always on the telly. Oh, the Greece are going to drop out of the Eurozone. It's going to cause us more trouble than it's actually worth. So, let them get on with it. Let us get on with it. It's just pissing annoying when all you see on the telly is, oh, the world's in crisis, we're going to be fucked until 2025. Oh, fuck, no! Let us get the fuck on with it. For those people, I worked at the Woolworths branch, the Woolworths chain of stores in 2008. Best job I have ever had by a fair distance, put it that way. I loved it. And all because of these bankers in fucking New York were either having a coffee break or a toilet break when they should have been watching the pissing screens that they were working on. Woolworths with tits up. I lost me nice job, and ever since then it's all been, oh no, we're not going to have money this time next week. Or the thing that's driving me nuts at the moment is the fact that whatever anyone says, it's not exactly my thing per se, although it could be. It's the fact that if you were after something specific and it costs X amount, but you've only got this amount, you can't afford it. You can't afford it for one reason: you don't have enough money. It would be just nice to go into a shop or go into a car dealer and just say, yeah, I'll have that. And how will you be paying, sir? There you go. But it's not the way the world works. It's a pain in the arse. Money. You know, it's petrol crisis. Or the price of petrol. It's just gone. And we can't stop that price rise. Most of it's tax. It's to stop us going out in cars, driving everywhere in cars. And, you know, the average Joe can't do a single bloody thing. People need cars to get where they have to get to, be it work, be it school, be it whatever. My mother has to get driven to dialysis 3 times a week. And luckily, due to her disabilities, we have what's called a disability car. Now, what that entails is that she gets the highest rate of disability allowance possible. And out of that, she pays for a brand new car that gets changed every 3 years. All of the, repairs, tyre changes, oil change, whatever. All of those get done free of charge. I say free of charge. We pay the majority of the disability allowance, or whatever it's called. I don't know the full technical term of it, it's just the way it is. My father, who is a full-time carer, in other words, cares for her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, apart from the couple of hours a week where she goes dialysis, totaling probably less than 10 hours a week, although she would tell you it's more. He gets paid somewhere in the region of £60 a week for looking after her. And that is another thing wrong with money. To those people that do not deserve it, I'm talking about so-called reality stars, pop singers, footballers, sports stars of any description, who work for less than 10 hours a week, and they get paid, you know, top range professional footballers can get inwards of, say, anything from, say, £90,000 to, say, £300,000 a week, and they work for less than, you know, 6 hours a week. And people like my father, who work, you know, 24/7 almost, or they work more than 40 hours a week because they have to, because of, you know, problems with money or whatever, and they get paid a pittance, and they get treated like shit, and they must feel about this big, you know. It's not right. He gets paid at about 60-70 quid a week. These are the people, you know, firefighters, policemen, teachers, carers, care assistants, nurses, doctors. These are the people that should be getting the big bucks. Like people like my father, who cares for a loved one. Okay, I may be a bit biased, but care assistants, they look after the elderly. They do a specific job. They do the job because they have a loved one in danger. They do the job, you know, to look after the people. They might be wonderful people, yet their pay is absolutely diabolical. Maybe not GPs, maybe not doctors in the real true sense, but it's not fair because someone decided that, oh yes, you only need that much to live on per week. I'm very close to claiming job seekers allowance, you know, going on the dole, and I'm not proud of that fact by any means, but the mere fact that since I lost my job almost 2 years ago now, I haven't claimed anything. So basically I've been doing the government a favour by not claiming. It's time they do me a favour by giving me money. And I will search for jobs, no problem at all. But the thing that gets me is if you do claim JSA, which is my last bit of research did, it was like £62, £65 a week, something like that. So that's basically, you know, inwards of, what am I trying to get at here? Let's just say £240 a month, £240 a month. And you eventually get a job and you get £200 a month. You are better off not working. So like if you can only get a part-time job, or whatever, for whatever reason you want a part-time job, or you've got kids and you can't exactly do that, blah 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 blah, you are better off not working and claiming as if you were going to work and only getting that certain amount. Because if you have to travel, you have to pay to get to your workplace. You have to pay tax if you are unlucky enough to reach a certain paying level. And it's not worth, okay, then the argument some people may make to me is, well, why go for that job in the first place? You go for that job because you are told to when you are on JSA. You apply for that position because you have to. You know, that's one of the worst things about being on JSA, is the fact that you have to apply for jobs you wouldn't normally apply for. You have to apply for X amount of jobs per week. And the mere fact that the government now are trying to cut down on the amount of people on benefits, then that surely means that the amount of jobs you have to apply for per week must have risen to 3, perhaps even 4. The last time I was on JSA it was only 2, and even that was difficult. But it's all to do with money. You need money to pay for this, you need money to pay for that, you need money to pay the bills, you need money to buy food, clothing, put petrol in the car, oil in the car, travelling to and from wherever you're going. You have to pay for haircuts, you have to pay for you know, body spray, aftershave. You have to pay for the amount of electricity you use. You have to pay this, you have to pay for that. It's all fucking bollocks. It is total and utter bollocks. You know, if this world could stop using money for one day, it would be so much a better place. But it doesn't. And these people that, you know, pump hundreds of pounds a year or thousands of pounds a year playing the lottery, all they're trying to do is make life better for themselves by having a bit of luck. And we are one of those families. You're probably one of them families. It's nigh on impossible. There are lucky people in this world. I talked about them earlier. Sports stars, music stars, pop stars, and, you know, higher wage earners that work less than 10 hours a week. They get paid millions a year. They're the lucky ones. You know, because they don't have to worry about how they're going to pay the next bill. They don't have to worry about, you know, can I afford this? You can afford it. You've got the money. You're lucky. The majority of us have to plod along doing something we don't want to do for, say, 40 to 50 plus years of our lives, just so that in the last 10 to 15 years of our lives, if we're lucky, we can half enjoy that. But even that's buggered. Pensioners, they don't get treated any better than people on benefits. Worse, in fact. There's these people that are 80 to 90 years old. They're getting treated like shit because they didn't have the money to pay £10,000, £12,000, £20,000 a year just so that they can live in a home that gets, you know, care people look after them. It's, oh, money is the worst thing that mankind has ever created. It's worse than, you know, weaponry. It's worse than missiles, bombs, swords. You know, it's worse than all of them. And even they cost money. What do you think? Do you think that they would be better off without money? Are you trying to save for the so-called bleak future that we're all going to endure, so to speak? Or are we actually getting to a time, because in all science fiction things is set in the future, money doesn't exist, and, you know, the world's a much better place for it? So I thank you for watching. I'll totally be back to normal this week, and I'll see you on the next edition for more moaning.